So we got to talk about the city of Chicago. Back in the news again. Chicago, a once great city, not so much today, not so much anymore, due to poor leadership, destructive Democrat policies that have ran that city into the ground. We've gone over extensively what the mayor out there is doing and the terrible leadership he's shown. And you just heard the governor out there saying and telling the residents that continue to do what you were doing before. When I'm proud of you, what you've done when ICE was here. Continue obstructing, continue making their job harder instead of easier, which actually keeps you safe also. Continue doing that. Continue creating as much chaos as you can and putting yourselves in dangerous situation. Good job, Governor. So, yeah, the city of Chicago not headed in the right direction. Since the Border Patrol is back into Chicago, it has some people who believe that the illegal immigrants should be able to stay there really furious. Take a listen.
Hey, you got no words. You got no words. You got no words. You got no words. We're going to challenge it. You have no words. You have no words. You have no words. You media.
You have no warrant! You are violating court! You have no warrant!
You have no warrants! We will challenge the 213! We're gonna challenge you! We will challenge this arrest! We will challenge the 213! Hey, compa, no digas nada! Compa, no digas nada! No digas nada! Es una violación! Why would you be so savage? Look how savage are you, bro! You said savages, bro. Look how you arrested him like savages. You have no heart. And look at the media. The media you. You're a media guy. Your mother. You. You're an asshole. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas, compa? Pero no digas nada, no firmes nada. No digas nada, no firmes nada. No digas nada, no firmes nada. We will challenge your 213. You will challenge your 213. You will be challenged in court because you're doing this illegally. You are doing this illegally. This is an illegal arrest. Es ilegal. No firmes nada. Y tú eres latino. No, you're... Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't get close.
La migra!
Get out of here.
ICE is here! ICE, la migra!
Shame on you guys. You are Nazis. Nothing but Nazis. You're a Nazi. You're a Nazi. You're going after brown people. You're going after brown people. You are wrong. You are wrong. You should be ashamed of yourself. Your kids will pay for this because God is going to see this. La migra.
La migra está aquí. La migra está presente.
You are bogus, bro.
La migra.
Bro, you're bogus, the R211. You're bogus. You're Latino, man. You're going after your own people. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Shame.
Shame. Everybody. Alerta, alerta, alerta. La migra está haciendo secuestros ilegales. They're doing illegal arrests. You media guy. They're doing illegal arrests. You are doing illegal arrests. Fuera, fuera, ICE. 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 Fuera, ICE.
Wow, loud and wrong. You would think that if they're going to be outside with the megaphone, that they would at least take the time to look up some laws and make sure that they actually sound intelligent when they're speaking. Unfortunately, that it looked like they just cut straight to the part where they said, let's just be loud and wrong and not really matter if we just saying things that make logical sense and go by the law. No, we just want to be loud and try and stop ICE as much as we can, which they're not doing. All they're doing is just being annoying, really. Because if they knew anything about the law, they would understand that, yes, federal agents, ICE, they can detain you, they can stop you. They are under suspicion that you're in this country illegally. And apparently they had the suspicion that that man is in this country illegally. And therefore he will go through the process. If he's here illegally, he's going to then have to stand in front of an immigration judge, and then he's going to have to plead his case or whatever. And if he's found guilty, he's going to be deported, and that's that. But none of that matters to these people. It's more so just about being upset and frustrated that the president said he was going to deport people who were in this country illegally, and now they're upset about it as far as things go. And so I wanted to get into this story right here because the activists in Chicago, they're upset with what's going on because the Border Patrol has returned to Chicago to finish the job. They're not done yet. And it has activists out there upset, and not upset because what they want you to believe as far as it's inhumane and it's wrong. These people deserve just as much right to be here as citizens. No, that's what they want you to believe if they were telling the story. But it's really for another reason. And well, without further ado, let's take a listen.
Several people are now in custody this morning as Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino has made his return to the Chicago area. Little Village is just one neighborhood where federal agents have made their presence known. Right now, responders are standing by. They're patrolling the area to be on the lookout for federal immigration agents. One business owner even tells me they started locking their doors once again after yesterday's events in an effort to protect their customers. Some tables have stood empty at Nuevo Leon since Operation Midway Blitz began, the owner tells me. And although there was a glimmer of hope, a possible return to normalcy when Bovino seemingly left the area in November, customers never quite fully returned.
This fear continued. I mean, I still haven't seen customers that from October I haven't seen. We're numb. We are numb. We don't know whether to go forward, not forward.
Arrests like these taking place across the area yesterday. A man was taken into custody near 26th and Kedvale. We've blurred his face since we don't know if he's been charged with a crime. Bovino was also seen at the picket line during a union strike at Mauser Packaging Solutions on Chicago's southwest side, interrogating workers, according to union leaders. Elsewhere, video shows apparent tear gas being deployed. Community groups say at least 15 people were arrested, including an alleged undocumented immigrant who the Department of Homeland Security says has a criminal history and damaged this Border Patrol vehicle with a rock. And this tamale vendor, seen on surveillance video, being taken into custody seconds after arriving at 47th and Hermitage.
You want the criminals, you know where to get the criminals, not the hardworking people. That's what's hurting us. At the end of the day, we're going to be hurting. Who's going to be picking our crops next year? Who's going to be being our cooks? Who's going to be our waitress? Who's going to be that? Nobody wants those jobs. Nobody.
Wow. So basically, this has nothing to really do about illegal immigrants and their humanity, like many of these people who protest against ICE will have you believing. No, it's really about being able to manipulate. That's what it really is. Who's going to be able to pick our crops? Who's going to do the jobs no one else wants to do? What that really means, at least when I hear it, what that really means is who is going to allow us to manipulate them like no one else? We can't manipulate anybody like we can quite manipulate the illegal immigrant who will work for a wage that we know is unfair, but they'll do it because they have no real options really. And who are they going to go to and cry about it anyway? And this is what I mean with these people who claim that they care about illegal immigrants so much. It's fake. In my personal opinion, it's really fake. If she really cared about them, it wouldn't be about having people do jobs that you say no one else would do. There are people out there who would do those jobs. There are people out there who you can find to be a cook, a dishwasher. But if you want to try and cheat them with the pay or not pay them fairly because you don't want to treat your employees correctly, then it'll be harder to find people to fill those positions. And having illegal immigrants around who are desperate enough to just take whatever you're willing to offer, that always works out a little bit better in your favor if you don't want to actually treat people fairly in the workplace. This idea that illegal immigrants are taking the jobs or doing the jobs that no American will do, I believe is false. I believe that they're taking and doing the jobs at a wage that Americans won't do. So I want to make something clear. Don't be mad at federal agents. Don't be mad at the Border Patrol chief, and don't be mad at the president. If they want to point their anger or their frustration somewhere, they should point it at the local leaders, the mayor, the governor, who continue to have sanctuary city policies on the books that only put the people in that city in more danger, who don't allow the law enforcement in the city, Chicago, state law enforcement, to cooperate with federal agents so that way they can move dangerous threats, people who don't belong in this country. Be mad at that. Be mad at those people. And here's the director of ICE, Todd Lyons, pushing back on that criticism that federal agents are harassing communities during enforcement operations. Take a listen.
In Focus, Todd Lyons, acting ICE director. Okay, let's just talk about J.B. Pritzker basically complaining that this is harassment, that this isn't law enforcement. What is harassment is the 1.150% increase in assaults against these agents and also an 8,000% increase in death threats. That is what you call harassment.
Oh, 100%. And, to the governor's point, sanctuary jurisdictions are the ones that keep, re-releasing public safety threats back into the community, which means ICE and other federal partners have to go into the communities to take these public safety threats out that elected officials in these sanctuary policies re-release back into the community to re-offend. I don't want my men and women out there taking that harassment. Like you said, we have an uptick in violence against not only ICE officers and special agents, but all of our federal partners in law enforcement that support us on our lawful law enforcement mission, right? So I'd much rather arrest these criminal aliens in a secure setting where it's safe for my folks, where it's safe for the actual criminal alien, and where it's safe for the public, and not have to deal with these agitators that are fueled by the political rhetoric that's out there right now.
Not only are they being fueled by the rhetoric, but they don't even know who these people are. They don't know what the background of these people who are being arrested are. They just see law enforcement, federal agents out doing a job. And so automatically they're the bad guys, and the people who are actually the real criminals, somehow they're the ones who suddenly become the victims in this situation. And then when you actually learn that these people have criminal histories beyond just entering the country illegally, a whole lot of people look stupid, but that's not stopping them from still continuing to obstruct and try and block ICE from doing their jobs. Like in this situation, take a listen.
I mean, put the protesters aside and let's just take a look at the people that they're arresting, for example, okay? Because one of the people that was protesting, in fact, busted a window of one of the Custom Border Patrol agents' vehicles, and they chased that guy down, and guess what? He was an illegal. Shocker. And then in Louisiana, an ICE officer was bitten in the hand by yet another illegal immigrant who was resisting arrest. And according to DHS, the suspect used his teeth as a weapon and clamped down on an ICE officer's hand, breaking the skin and drawing blood, and then attempted to flee by pushing officers. So these are not law-abiding non-citizens. Like you said, they are criminal aliens. And I don't mean criminal for being in this country illegally. I'm talking about criminals who should not be protected by J.B. Pritzker and other governors and mayors of these Democratic cities.
No, you're spot on, because what the men and women of ICE are actually doing is going out there and doing targeted enforcement on these individuals that were actually released after a law enforcement agency deemed them a public safety threat to arrest them. So that's the key part that's being left out, is the fact that these individuals have already been convicted of a crime or are pending charges, and a local law enforcement or state law enforcement agency deemed it necessary to put that individual in jail. But because of, again, political ideology or the fact that you just don't like our ICE mission, you re-release a criminal offender back out into the community. And, ICE has always been in Chicago. We have enforcement removal operations field office there. We have special agent in charge for HSI. Chicago has always been there. So to hear that we're going in and harassing places is 100% false. The fact of the matter is, ICE is a law enforcement agency that is in every major state, every major city, and we're out there conducting a law enforcement mission every day.
And so you've seen that, you heard that. And what you really have right here is, because you have the state leadership in some of these states, like Chicago, Illinois, because the state leadership doesn't agree with the president, they're going to stand on the opposite side of whatever he's trying to do. And so in this case, it's deportation. And so they're against it. Then you have in Illinois, for instance, where they just added more policies, more laws, making it even harder for ICE agents to do their jobs by saying they can't go to courthouses and can't go to certain places within the city. And so You would think, just from a logical mind perspective, if you're trying to keep the residents safe, if you want to keep your community safer, and that means that they would work with the federal agents instead of actually obstructing or blocking or ignoring them, standing on the sidelines. Because if you work with them, then you can get more done and you can do it in a safer way, where you keep the community and the people in that community that you claim that you're trying to protect, you keep those people safe. But no. They rather just stand on the sidelines and say, we don't want to help you. Matter of fact, we're going to encourage our citizens to keep doing what they're doing, which is creating chaos around you, putting them in unsafe conditions, as well as you in unsafe conditions. And then, let the chips fall where they may. But now I want to hear from you. Drop your comments down below. As always, the best way to show your support is by smashing that thumbs up, hitting the subscribe button, and sharing this video with more people so they can see what's really going on. Until next time.